You walk into the room. You see the laundry, the dishes, the unopened mail, things that need to be sorted, cleaned, moved, or thrown away. And almost immediately, your energy disappears. Your shoulders tighten, your thoughts get louder. You may turn around and leave, or you sit down, pick up your phone and tell yourself, I'll do it later. And then later comes. The room still looks the same, and now there is another feeling in the room, shame. You may think, why can't I handle something this simple? Why does everyone else seem to manage this? What is wrong with me? Perhaps there's nothing wrong with you. Sometimes cleaning is far more demanding than it looks. And sometimes the difficulty you feel tells you something important about your current level of stress, energy, and emotional capacity. In this video, I want to help you understand what may be happening. And I will show you a general way to begin without creating even more pressure. Cleaning requires more than physical effort. From the outside, cleaning seems simple. Pick something up, put it away, wipe the surface, take out the trash. Yet every one of these steps requires decisions. Where does this belong? Should I keep it? Can I throw it away? What should I begin with? What matters most? How long will this take? What will I discover underneath? When you already feel stressed, anxious, exhausted, or emotionally overloaded, every small decision may feel like one decision too many. You're standing in front of one room, your mind may experience an entire mountain. This is not automatically laziness. The word lazy is used far too quickly. It turns a difficult experience into a judgment about your character. Many people desperately want to create order. They think about it every day, they make plans, they criticize themselves, they promise themselves that tomorrow will be different. And still, they struggle to begin. That experience may have many causes: anxiety, chronic stress, depression, ADHD, grief, exhaustion, physical limitations, painful memories, or trauma-related stress. These are possibilities, not conclusions. Difficulty cleaning by itself does not tell you which explanation applies. It simply tells you that a task may require more from you that you currently have available. A person can care deeply and still feel stuck. Why the task can feel so large? Cleaning requires planning, prioritizing, remembering, deciding, starting, switching between tasks, finishing. These abilities often become less available when you are under pressure. Your brain and body may become more sensitive to uncertainty, unfinished tasks, and competing demands. That is why a crowded room can create a feeling of paralysis. Because your mind says, get up, and another part of you says, this is too much. You may look inactive from the outside. Inside, a great deal is happening. You're struggling even while appearing to do nothing. Clutter is rarely silent. Every object may send a small signal. Deal with me, decide about me, finish this, you forgot something, you're falling behind. One object may seem harmless. Hundreds of objects can create hundreds of unfinished signals. Your eyes move through the room and your attention repeatedly encounters things that require action. And this can increase in attention. And then the tension makes it harder to create order. And the growing disorder creates more tension. A cycle develops. Overwhelm leads to avoidance, and avoidance allows the clutter to grow. The growing clutter increases overwhelm, and then shame enters the cycle. And shame often makes movement even harder. Pressure can become part of the problem. Many people try to motivate themselves with harshness. Come on, stop being ridiculous. Other people manage this. You're an adult. Get yourself together. Come on. This inner voice may sound strong. In reality, it often creates more pressure. A household task becomes an emotional test. Every object seems to ask, can you finally prove that you are that you are good enough? And that is a heavy burden to place on a coffee cup. When pressure has become part of the problem, another demand rarely helps. A sense of manageability often helps more. Things can carry memories. Objects are sometimes more than objects. A sweater may remind you of a relationship. A letter may bring back a difficult period. A gift may be connected to a person you miss. A box may contain parts of a life that has changed. This is why advice such as just throw it away can feel insensitive. The object may carry meaning, hope, identity, loyalty, loss, safety, or the fear that you may need it one day. For some people, keeping things once created a sense of security. Perhaps resources were scarce. Perhaps belongings disappeared without permission. Perhaps other people repeatedly crossed personal boundaries. Perhaps letting go once meant losing far more than an object. Your present reaction may make more sense when you understand the history behind it. Cleaning can also touch self-trust. Cleaning involves making choices. You decide what stays, you decide what leaves, you decide where something belongs. For someone whose boundaries or decisions were repeatedly ignored, these choices may carry emotional weight. Even a small decision can create uncertainty. Am I allowed to let this go? What if I make the wrong choice? What if I regret it? What if someone judges me? The task appears to be about objects. Underneath, it may be also about trusting your own decisions. And that is why a gentle cleaning process can become practice in self-trust. I choose, I decide, I'm allowed to pause. I'm allowed to keep something. I'm allowed to let something go. Begin with manageability. Many cleaning methods begin with productivity. Make a list, set a large goal, finish the room, fill several bags. Work faster. These strategies may help when you have enough energy and mental capacity too. When you already feel overwhelmed, pressure can make the task feel even larger. So begin with a different question. Instead of asking, how much can I accomplish? Ask, what would feel manageable right now? You're looking for a step small enough that your mind and body can stay with you. The 3-minute practice. Choose a very small area. A corner of a table, one chair, one shelf. A section of the floor. Choose an area small enough that part of you thinks that might be possible. And then set a timer for 3 minutes. Your task is to give this small area 3 minutes of calm attention. Look at the first object. Ask one simple question. Where is the easiest place for this to go? And then move it. Choose the next object. Move it. When you notice tension, slow down. Feel your feet on the floor. Look around the room. Notice the doorway. Notice the light. Notice one color. Allow your breathing to remain natural. You may say quietly, I'm here. I'm choosing one thing at a time. 3 minutes is enough. When the timer ends, pause. Look at what changed. Perhaps you moved 3 objects. Perhaps you cleared a small surface. Perhaps you throw away one piece of paper. The visible result may be small. The internal experience may be important. You began. You made decisions. You created a little more order without using fear as your manager. Stopping can be part of the exercise. You may feel like continuing. You're welcome to continue when the activity feels steady and you still have energy. And you may also stop. Stopping after the agreed time can be valuable because it teaches you that beginning does not automatically mean becoming trapped in an endless task. And this matters especially when cleaning has previously been connected to exhaustion, conflict, criticism, or loss of control. You said 3 minutes, and you gave yourself 3 minutes. You kept your word. And that can strengthen self-trust. And it may make starting next time easier. Measure success differently. When you feel overwhelmed, measuring success by the entire room can be discouraging. So use a different measure. Did I begin? Did I make one decision? Did I create one small area of relief? Did I remain respectful toward myself? Did I stop before I became completely overwhelmed? These are meaningful signs of progress. A clear table is helpful. Greater self-trust is even more valuable. Reduce the number of decisions. You can also choose one category for each short session, like collect cups and dishes, gather laundry, remove obvious trash, return books to one place, whatever it is. This reduces decision fatigue. You already know what you're looking for. You're not organizing your entire life. You're collecting cups, and that is a clear assignment. Create a temporary landing place. Some objects require more thought. Choose one box or basket for that. And when an object creates a difficult decision, place it there. The box says, this decision has a place. I can return to it. Gives the box a clear limit. One box, one basket, one defined place. This creates structure while respecting your current capacity. Let the environment support you. Your surroundings can make the task easier. Open the window. Turn on the light. Wear comfortable clothing. Keep water nearby. Play calm music. Invite a supportive person to remain on the phone while you begin. Some people find it easier to work when another calm person is present, even when that person is doing something else. Their presence can make the task feel less isolating. Support works best when it feels respectful rather than supervisory. Use a different inner voice. Imagine a close friend standing in this room. They feel anxious. They feel ashamed. They want to begin and feel stuck. Would you say, you're hopeless? Look at this mess. Would you say, I can see how much this affects you. Let us begin with one small place. You do not have to solve everything today. The way you speak to yourself can either increase the pressure or make the next step feel more manageable. Kindness is not weakness. Kindness creates better conditions for action. When professional support makes sense. This video is about everyday overwhelm. Sometimes clutter becomes so intensive that it affects hygiene, safety, relationships, finances, or the ability to use important parts of the home. Sometimes the distress around cleaning or discarding becomes intense. Sometimes anxiety, depression, trauma-related symptoms, HD, physical limitations, or hoarding-related difficulties play an important role. In those situations, professional support can be valuable. That support may come from a mental health professional, a physician, and a therapist, or an organizer, someone who works with emotional sensitivity. You deserve help that respects your pace, your history, and your dignity. A better decision. Instead of asking, what is wrong with me? Ask yourself, what is making this task feel so large today? Perhaps you need rest. Perhaps you need structure. Perhaps you need company. Perhaps you need few decisions. Perhaps an object carries a memory. Perhaps you need a smaller beginning. Curiosity opens the door that self-criticism keeps closed. One small area of relief. A calmer home rarely appears through one heroic burst of energy. It grows through small, repeated moments of care. One cup returned to the kitchen, one chair made available again, one bag taken outside. One surface that gives your eyes a place to rest. You do not have to conquer the entire room. Create one small area that feels lighter. And let that area remind you, change is possible. Movement is possible. Yes, you are allowed to begin slowly. Your home does not need to become perfect. It can gradually become a place that supports you. And you do not have to frighten yourself into creating it. So, here is my invitation for today. Choose one small corner. Give it 3 minutes of calm attention and then pause. Look at what have changed around you. And notice what may have changed inside you. Sometimes change begins with something very ordinary. A cup, a piece of paper, a small decision. In the inner experience, I can care for this space. One manageable step at a time. This video is intended for education and self-help. It does not replace individualized diagnosis or treatment. When anxiety, trauma-related symptoms, depression or difficulties with daily tasks strongly affect your life, then professional support may be a good decision. So, what small areas will receive 3 minutes of your attention today? Share in the comments. And for more calm, practical guidance on anxiety, trauma-related stress, and nervous system regulation, subscribe to Help Anxiety. Take good care of yourself. I'm Carsten Mohr.